From the HYR Studios, Honda Yamaha Redlands, who would like you to go on a local adventure. That means get on your bike and ride, bitch. It's the Big 49 in HD streams.
Yeah, it is the Big 49. Thank you for tuning in to the pre-race show, pre-Supercross. I am Moto. I have Jason from HYR in the studio with me today.
What's going on?
What's happening, man? What's going on?
This is kind of last race. It's just kind of feeling like it's already over.
It is the last race, but let me tell you, there's
a bunch of drama last week.
There's a little bit of drama to be had today. Right. Trust me. I watched the qualifying today. I watched the 250 East, 250 West showdown qualifying times, and there's a little Hunter on Jett drama going on.
Because they're already thinking 3 weeks from now coming back into another.
By the way, I want to
season, right?
I also want to thank the greatest broadcast host in the history of motocross, Mr. Daniel Blair. Yeah. I mean, I'm going to say Weege is probably a really, really tight number 2, but I'm going to say Daniel Blair did a really good job today on the race day live coverage.
That's right. Stretch didn't do an intro today.
He's got a lot going on.
He's got a lot going on?
He's got a lot going on.
Okay.
He's got stuff happening.
All right, good.
And I heard that Bookie Kyle is actually on some sort of a sandals vacation for retirees. So apparently they got a lot of hot chicks out there at sandals.
He got a suntan lotion sponsor?
I think so. I think he's out there getting a little oil on. Because last week he was talking a big line of crap about everybody putting on the suntan lotion. And I'm thinking, any guy who talks crap about the suntan lotion is probably going to be putting on the suntan lotion.
So someone called him up this week. He didn't even tell us.
Yeah. So he's probably out there with like Beatrice and Fernie,
See what happens at the end of the season?
At the end of the season, everybody goes on vacation. Everybody goes on vacation. But guess what? You and I, we show up for work. We show up.
I'm here.
Yeah. 90% of life, showing up.
I'm showing up, bro.
Guess what? We're here.
I don't even know how I made it, to be honest. We just closed our demo down about a half hour ago.
See? That's because...
And I've got a lot of good help, so it came over, and here I am.
That's because you work. You work. They're on vacation. You're working.
The vacation?
Yeah, they're on vacation.
Okay.
You're working. Make it happen, Captain. That's all I'm saying.
It's a good Ghost, though.
By the way, I want to thank our friends over at Ghost Energy Drink. Wow. That mango is good, and I also love the watermelon.
Sour watermelon right now.
Dude, that was sour watermelon. I had some yesterday during my radio show, and I had a blast drinking that stuff. It is good. Not to mention, we also have Liquid Death, Resting Peach, and the Grim Leafer. Both of them, awesome. So, plenty of beverages here. Do you want a bag of kettle chips?
Yeah.
I got some kettle chips. Yeah, I got some kettle chips. Seeing how it's you and I, just...
Dude,
I'll open up the prize closet.
We could just go open that whole thing up.
Exactly. It's like
end of the season.
End of the season. Like, what do you want? What do you want? We got kettle chips. We got prizes. We got stuff. So, making it happen.
We'll do that.
So, I did watch some 250 qualifying East, 250 qualifying West, and there is some drama today.
So let me guess. The two brothers, Hampshire.
You got the Lawrence brothers going a little bit nosy to nosy. Both of them qualified number 1. Okay. Although Jett kind of did a little bit of a slap talk on Hunter, talking about the fact that Hunter got a perfectly groomed track. It was perfect. He had the number 1 qualifying time. Jett got out there and it was a little ratted out. Track was a little ratted up. Okay. So of course he walks out and he's like, "Listen, I need to make sure that You blew out my rut. You blew out some ruts. You made some stuff a little more uncomfortable, so I couldn't quite get the 0.2 of a second on you for that." So there's a little bit of drama there. Apparently, Daniel Blair. By the way, did I mention how great Daniel Blair is?
You said something about Daniel Blair.
Yeah. Daniel Blair apparently bought Jett Lawrence some coffee this morning. Okay. Brought it over to the HRC trailer, hooked him up, and Jett was going to pay him back, but now Jett's welching on the bed. So he's not going to pay him back now. He's like, "I'm going to stiff you out on that one." So it was kind of funny. I mean, I have to say there's a little bit of drama going on. Not much, but understand for the 250s today, it's East versus West.
Yeah, right.
So the East-West showdown, we didn't have one in New York, remember?
Right.
We were supposed to have one in New York, and it got pretty much rained out to some extent.
There's some good players. I mean, you got Kitchen, Hampshire, Shimoda, you said, I think,
Oh,
right?
Dude. Shimoda's showing up. 90% showing up. Okay? Hampshire's definitely showing up. Then you've got, obviously, the Lawrence brothers. They're showing up. Kitchen's showing up. Lopes is showing up. Yeah. So you're going to have a pretty good run. And then everybody's darling who everybody wants to see take this whole thing, just get a win, get a W under his belt because he's already been podiumed this season, but they want to see him get a W, is going to be Deegan.
Yeah,
Hayden Deegan.
Think about Deegan.
Okay,
Yeah,
Danger Boy Deegan, everybody wants to see Hayden get a win. They want to see him get a W. He was the talk of the town. If you listen to, Dan Hubbard and if you listen to Daniel Blair, they were going on and on and on about Hayden Deegan and how nobody's ever done what he's done first season into Supercross from an amateur into it. And then
there's some people. Well, I mean, there's a couple people.
Yeah, there's a couple, but not recently that have done to the phenomenal effect that he's done.
Yeah,
like
consistency.
he's already ranked top in the top 5 of the 250 division.
Right.
First out of just from Supercross Futures, jumping right into full on Supercross, gets his pro card, and now he's on the top 5 of the whole season.
And then the Lawrence brothers have already got a championship right now.
Oh yeah, they've got that buttoned up. I mean,
so you know
Hunter
what I mean?
on the
So
East,
it's like,
Hunter
not
on
say
the
they
East,
don't want the win. They want the win, I'm sure.
Yeah, Hunter on the East, Jett on the West. They're just going to fight and see.
But they're not
going
to hurt themselves over it tonight. Like,
No, they're not going to risk anything, especially when Jett goes to 450s. And that was the other big talk was HRC Honda is. By the way, you should feel good about this being a Honda guy. HRC Honda is walking away with the whole thing this year. They're getting 250 East, 250 West, and they're getting Sexton with the W and 450s.
It's
win-win-win.
Well, it's a win for sure.
It's a win, but it's not how we wanted.
But we kind of talked about that a little bit. Like we thought they were a little faster bike, but it depends on how you rock.
Well,
there's a lot to be said about
Honda
that.
has the best, I would say, probably one of the best platforms out there. Last year, I would say Honda had the best platform out of everybody. This year, I would say between Yamaha and Honda, those are the 2 best platforms on the track. A lot of people have said, well, don't discount KTM.
And that's what you had said to me a couple of races ago. You said, are they inferior to the other brands right now?
Yeah.
Are they like Husky and KTM? Are they inferior to this?
Well, here's the thing. A lot of people are blowing up the hype of Husky KTM right now. But my feeling on Husky KTM...
in the middle of the season, that was happening.
Yeah. My feeling on Husky KTM, while looking at the platform, I and not to sound mean about this to, our good friend Roger DeCoster over at KTM, I'm going to say it's a dated platform to some extent. There's technology, but not a lot of technology. They have on paper. This is all statistical information. This is not actual working information. On paper, they have the fastest production line 450 on paper. It dynos the best out of everybody's 450. But that's a paper argument. That's not a real life, real operational, real world.
No, and the fastest bike's not always the fastest bike.
Exactly. The fastest bike's not always the fastest bike.
Right.
And Yamaha even said, last year our platform was much faster than this year. And the riders complained, Eli and Dylan both complained that bike is just too fast. Yeah. It's just insane.
No, and I think like the Yamaha had a lot of hype behind it this year.
Yeah,
like
they narrowed the platform.
Steve Mathis had said a lot about it. He said it was going to be the winning bike this year, and it was on track.
Yeah, they narrowed the platform. They made it lighter. They lowered it. They made the frame a little more narrow and twitchier. He
also gets paid. Yamaha do last chance thing, which is a cool race that they did too. I will fully support him on that thing. I thought it was. I'm not gonna point out
setup, who's getting paid where. I'm gonna be completely, because here at Big 49, we are not paid by anybody on the manufacturing side.
Well, that's why I bring it up.
Yeah. We are completely objective as far as the manufacturer is concerned. I mean, you could have a Marmaduke 500 pull start, and if it's the best and fastest bike on the track, we're going to tell everybody it's going to be the best and fastest bike on the track. That's just that's who we are. We're hooked up that way.
Unless it's I'll stop.
Well, what are you talking, Marmaduke 500?
No.
Oh, you're talking Triumph.
No.
Are you gonna
That's not even out yet. So.
Okay. Because you know how it is. Ricky's already been talking about the Triumph.
I try and definitely be like,
He's ridden the Triumph.
Okay.
Okay. And I
in
understand.
all perspective, I want any bike to do good.
Well, exactly. But HYR is you're our dealer sponsor, and I would say it's in the name Honda, Yamaha, and then your location is Husqvarna is in there, but somewhere in there, but you got Honda, Yamaha, and then you got your location is in Redlands. Yeah. You pretty much are a big red, big blue. That was
our originals for sure. That's where we started.
That's where you started,
which was cool, man. We're actually one of the oldest Honda dealers in California that started with Honda originally.
Exactly.
And like first or second.
What, like 1969 or something? It was old. You've been around for a minute.
77.
I thought it was 69. I thought it was 68, 69.
69 is when some stuff started.
Okay.
But we were in the building and doing some stuff there.
Yeah, so it's been a minute. I mean, it's been a hot minute. You've been a hardcore Honda dealer. At the same time, I will say this. I have, in my life, I have bought a used Suzuki from HYR.
Yeah.
I have bought a lot of used things and other things from HYR.
Absolutely.
But the only thing I've never bought from you is a lawnmower.
No?
I need to buy a lawnmower from you at some point.
Not at this point, just because the carb emissions right now has been a problem with lawnmowers. All this.
The other day, I have a Honda lawnmower. I've had it for like 27, 28 years.
If you get like their commercial brand, not the Home Depot one. If you get one from the Home Depot, that's like their cheapest deck.
Yeah.
And that's why they're cheap. And that's why that
Yeah.
But if you come and you spend like $100 more on their next model up, oh dude, they'll last you forever.
Forever. They're like the greatest lawnmower around. Get off.
Don't even have to people don't even change the oil. And I'm not going to say don't do that, but they don't even.
I'm just being honest with you. Like I've had my Honda mower for almost 30 years, and the other day, it was last week, I was out mowing the yard, and I thought, I'd probably go down to HYR and turn in old blue and get myself a new one. I wonder if they're still selling Honda push mowers down at HYR.
It's hard because all carbureted world, man. We're losing that to fuel injected, and they haven't made all those changes on some of that. So
got it.
But there's some out there. There's still some out.
There are. I don't need the monoshock. I don't need. It can be a dual shock. I don't need the monoshock. Yeah. I don't need the water cooled. I'm not first on the line. You don't
want a custom mower.
I don't want a custom mower.
Shocks on it.
I don't need the shocks on it. I don't wheelie in my mower too much.
Right.
A little bit here and there, maybe over some walkways and such. But
wheeling on a mower is actually
kind of fun.
Kind of fun.
Kind of fun.
Yeah.
So, moral of the story. You guys have been Honda to the core for a long time. And congratulations this year, because now you can actually say Big Red got it all.
And it's been a while.
You got it all. It's the first for your 450s.
Well, it's been a while since the championship. For how long now?
Exactly.
Who's the last guy? We were talking about this earlier. Thinking Carmichael?
Let me think here.
We were talking about this about a half hour ago.
RC had a championship on 250s. McGrath has a championship on 250s.
But it was after that, maybe Bale or...
It would have been... Bale. I got to think about that.
So I was thinking about this earlier. Someone said, and someone's answer was RC.
Yeah, RC's probably your most recent of the Premier Class winners on a Honda. And by the way, shortly after he went over to Suzuki after he left Honda. And I don't think
Roxon didn't have one. Roxon didn't have it. Right.
No, Roxon never had a championship on a Honda. He had number 2 on a Honda, but he never had a championship. Honda's never had a Premier Class 450 ever since 450s. Period. Since they went to 4-strokes, Honda hasn't had it. So in Premier Class, the last one would have been a 250R, and I'm thinking that would have been probably Ricky Carmichael, who had that.
I kind of slid in on this one a little bit.
I'll look it up. Yeah, you did slide in on it, and we can have that conversation too. I'm a little bummed about, obviously you have, out of today in the Premier Class 450 division, you don't have Jason Anderson today. You don't have Eli Tomac today. You don't have Cooper Webb today. Aaron Plessinger did make it today, but as we all know, he's probably a little banged up, and he probably shouldn't risk it all. Malcolm's not there today. Yeah. So you're missing some very high-level people. By the way, Malcolm announced this week that he signed for another 2 years with Husqvarna.
I saw that.
So congratulations to Malcolm on that. Overall, though, it was a pretty good run today.
Well, year, really.
Yeah.
This is a recap right now.
Yeah.
When we came into this year, the top 15 guys, we didn't even know who to pick.
Yeah, exactly. Well, it was tight. It was a really tight, especially coming into Supercross at the beginning of the year and knowing the fact that Cooper just came off the championship and,
right.
It was so tight.
Deep down, we were still saying Webb, Sexton, Tomac.
Yeah,
that's who we were picking.
We were dancing around that circle.
But the top 15 guys were Barsha and all Anderson.
Yeah, but
it was hard to pick.
I was going to say, understand at the beginning of the year we were looking at Anderson because he just come off of a very aggressive year in 2022, and that was his first year with Kawasaki, and he really, really put his mark on everything. Then you had Barsha, who was kind of, I don't want to say wallpaper for the first half, but Barsha has a tendency to wake up mid to late in a season and all of a sudden show off. He usually comes out gangbusters at Anaheim 1. Anaheim 1 is usually Barsha's race to win. And this year he did a phenomenal job with it, in all sincerity.
Yeah, it's weird. It's almost like a bike setup thing. Like all of a sudden he just started clicking it off. One with this freaking bike and starts
and
looking like the fastest lap balls.
And by the way, that gas platform is no joke. It is a really good platform. I mean, KTM really did a good job with that, and I think that the gas being a hybrid between the Husky and the KTM, it's a great blend of good suspension, good motor design, proven frame design. Everything's just there. So Barsha's usually a mid-level player like that. Then you had Eli, who usually wakes up mid-season. Eli's usually, he doesn't really display his dominance until, I would say, mid-season late. And then all of a sudden it's like just the phenomena of Eli Tomac. Eli literally the entire season was dominant, putting it down like from race 1 all the way up until last week. Last week in qualifying, he had number 1 qualifying last week. I mean,
after 2 or 3 rounds before that, when he went down harder than he has in a long time.
Exactly. He's had 2 really bad spills this season.
So I heard something about and getting into his injury.
Okay.
A little bit. I heard something this week.
Okay, Achilles tendon.
I haven't heard anywhere else, and maybe you've heard it, but
okay.
A rumor I was dropping some parts off and talked to a kid, and
okay.
He said that he takes I guess it's like a shank that comes out of his boot. So those Tech 8s will have that ankle support so it doesn't fold so much.
Okay.
Right? And supposedly he runs without that.
Yes, he takes the shank out.
Anymore,
I'd already heard that this week that he always takes the shank out of the boot, the ankle shank.
And that would do that.
I mean,
unfortunately.
It would soften up the boot a lot. Obviously,
it's there to stop that movement from going that far.
Exactly. It's there to stop that from going that far, but a lot of riders, you know how those boots are. They're so restrictive.
And so he's running without it.
I
mean,
Yeah. And I don't know if that's
like he's cheating right there.
I don't know if that's true or not. I had heard the same rumor that he had removed the ankle shank, and then I'd heard another person in the industry say he's always removed the ankle shanks out of those boots ever since they've had them. Ever since they've had them. I'm going to say that was a freak thing that happens when you overextend your Achilles tendon, and obviously, and this is something this is the most athletic sport out of all sports around. I don't care.
I mean, possibly could happen either way.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? But
I mean, out of all the sports that are out there, okay, out of MMA, out of basketball, baseball, football, blah, 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 nobody is running for 30 minutes on a dirt bike, and it's very aerobic to do that. And then
landing in the right spot,
timing, and then strategy. The whole thing is just
taking off on the right spot.
Yeah, when you put Supercross into a thought process in your head, like as a sport, it's not like football where somebody tells you run that way, then run this way. That's the pattern. It's not like baseball where all you have to do is have an amazing batting average and okay fielding. There's a reason why they call it Moneyball. You can literally win baseball on pure statistics alone. You can do statistics all day long, and the Oakland A's proved that. With the lowest payroll out of all the teams, they did well. Hockey is definitely a man sport. I'll hand that to hockey. I mean, 220-pound dude on ice skates with a stick. Yeah, right. Until you've been actual at the glass at the rink and you've seen these guys slam that wall at 25 miles an hour, I would put that probably in a close second.
So you're saying put 220 pounds
to 240
right?
pounds.
Up to 240.
Put 240 pounds underneath you on a 180-pound man.
And about 60 horsepower.
Yep, 60 horsepower on a track with 22 other motorcycles.
And then jump from triple to what, 60.
And then do it time and time
feet.
again. Because you've heard the old term, the 10,000 hour rule. Okay, it takes 10,000 hours to master something. These guys have literally 10,000 hours themselves 2 times over already.
Well, yeah, because mentally, like just getting around a supercross track, like
up
on the step on, step off, like that's a whole movement that getting on that and getting off, like it's all just certain technique.
What's funny to me is Stretch hadn't really ever been on a track before.
Right.
And I remember the first time he walked over to the finish line, and he looks up at it and he goes, "Oh, wow. I didn't realize."
Taller than Stretch.
It's taller than me.
Right.
And it is literally vertical.
Yeah, you can't walk up and down.
You can't walk up and down it.
And to go straight up, it's about, what, 50 degree up?
I'd say about 45.
45?
Yeah, about 45 degrees.
45 degrees.
Uh-huh. Yeah, you'll slip right in your face.
Yeah.
If you're walking it, okay?
So come around a corner, 45 degrees straight up.
There's a reason why you have to take a supercross track at a certain speed to do it safely. Mm-hmm. Because if you go too slow, you'll kill yourself. Literally, like if you ever watch like on their qualifying time rounds and they'll go around the track and some of those guys that are doing rollers, like Cooper Webb's a prime example. Cooper in qualifying will go around the track. He'll make a couple hot laps, really fast laps, and then he'll sometimes just roll. But you ever notice he rolls on the outside of the jump? He's not rolling over the whoops or the jumps.
Right.
Because if he rolled over the whoops and the jumps, they're so structured in such a way that you would hurt yourself. You could actually flip over and land on your face.
Yeah, even at that slow speed.
Even at that slow speed. Even at walking speed. We're talking walking. Not even a mile an hour.
I tried to get Stretch to ride the hay bale down that.
He tried to ride over the tough block to go down it.
I was like, dude, like they'll never even notice. Like, let's just grab it.
Ride a tough block
and ride it down
the finish line. That would have been funny, actually.
He wouldn't do it. He didn't do it.
I imagine Sean would have let you guys do it.
I know.
That would have been no big deal.
Stretch, like when he like...
I'm sure that
he acts like he wants to do that stuff, but when it really comes down to it,
I was going to say the Alpine Stars and the Dirtworks guys would have been like, yeah. We'll put it back. We'll put it back. Just coast it down.
Yeah.
Obviously, he has no helmet, but just coast it down the dirt, and you're good. You're fine. Oh man,
good year though. I mean, deep down, it was a good year.
Yeah, it was a great year. I want to give a shout out, by the way, to our friends at Ghost Energy Drink. That is good stuff. I like that. That's what keeps me alive during these shows. So, this is the Big 49. We are the only motocross rock radio station on the planet. You're listening to Motorman and Jason with HYR doing Supercross coverage for the final race of the year.
Going out in style.
We're going out in style. So we got ourselves some kettle chips. We got ourselves some Ghost Energy. We got ourselves some Liquid Death.
A race bike in the back.
We got a race bike in the. You did bring the race bike. I'm surprised we didn't wheel that one in the control room.
I know.
That little 65cc of fury right there.
I just got to show up with something, you know.
Exactly. You always show up with something. All right. I'm gonna jump into a Moto Minute, and then we will be back right after these messages.
The Big 49 Moto Minute, brought to you by LBZ. You gotta love that the Rockstar Energy Husqvarna team is making moves.